Okay, well, this is my second podcast, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the show Vintagevideogamegeek from the United States of America.
Hello, Matthew. Thank you for having me on. It's an honor.
Well, it's great to have you on the channel, and
Oh, by the way, why is it called the 10-Minute Turbo Show?
Well,
and it usually is never 10 minutes.
it started off with the intention of being under 10 minutes. And
all right, and where does the turbo come in? Because for some reason I was thinking of like turbo graphics.
correct.
Is that where it came from?
It was because the first show I did, I put on an American accent, and I thought, well, I was looking for viewers. Clearly, I was, a sad European guy that needed some views.
I think where I came in was when you did your Dreamcast review.
Yeah.
Where you had this guy over and he basically just made fun of the way you talk for like 5 minutes, and there was no actual review of the Dreamcast.
What's your favourite shoot 'em up?
My favorite shooter, and you probably know just from talking to me, I'm not a huge shooter guy such as yourself, but I do have an appreciation, which is growing from watching your channel, I have to say. The way that you present your reviews and the way that you talk about shooters and how you're so obsessed with them, it has a tendency to rub off on people. So like, you just did one on Darius Gaiden.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep.
Is it Gaiden or Gaiden?
I think it's probably Gaiden.
I think it's Gaiden too, because I say Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I think that's the correct saying.
But anyway, I just discovered, and you just made a random comment while you were doing your thing that it was on you said Tato Classics, I think. Disc, but it's actually Tato Legends. But anyway, yeah, it's on Tato Legends 2 for the PS2. So I was excited when I saw that I actually had this game and I didn't know it.
Oh.
I haven't got out to play it yet, but I plan to. But okay, I'm sorry. My favorite shooter is probably going to have to be Space Harrier.
Oh, controversial.
You think?
Why do you think I think it's controversial?
Well, because you might say that it's not like a side scroller with some kind of spaceship.
That's the issue. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I don't shy away from controversy. Well, all right. First, I'll tell you why I like the game, and then you tell me why. Because then you tell me why you don't consider it a true shooter.
Yeah.
If that's the case. But so yeah. I fell in love with the game. My buddy had a Sega Master System, and that was the first version that I ever played it on.
Good version.
I just thought it was awesome. I thought the perspective, and it was kind of like pseudo 3D. I love the sound. I love just the colors of it. For me, it was just one of those. It was a very nostalgic thing. And and when you sent me that PC Engine for the core graphics too. When I opened the package, last Christmas, and I saw you had put Space Harrier in there.
Yeah.
I was so excited, and I actually thought at the time that you purposely put that in there because you knew I liked it. But now I'm starting to think that maybe you just wanted to get rid of it. So now that you know that, so first tell me why it's controversial, and if it's not a true shooter, then what would it be classified by the psychotic shooter community?
Well, I think that the shooter community on shmups.org would probably deign Space Harrier as a 3D on-rails shooter. Are you familiar with on-rails shooters?
So you're saying you're part of a elitist shooter class?
I do have a username. Yeah, I am part of that community.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so you're part of the elitist class that looks down upon Space Harrier, and you consider it not a true shooter, even though mainstream community does.
Well, let's put it to the mainstream community then. Let's find out if the mainstream community actually do consider Space Harrier a shoot 'em up.
Okay, we will do that. But what is Future Mat 5? How would you classify the game?
I'd say because it's a 3D on-rails shooter, that it's actually more like a racing game than a shooting game.
Oh, how is it a racing game?
It's like a racing
There's
game.
no elements of racing at all.
Well, you're racing into the screen. You're even running at several points. You're running into the screen, avoiding trees and mushrooms.
Oh, what are we racing against?
Against the clock, against life. And it just so
severely weak argument.
it just so happens that you're carrying a cannon.
Does this make it any better in your view that you can actually change your avatar into like a spaceship?
You can actually. That's a cheat though, isn't it, on one of the console versions? But I mean, having said all of this about it not being a proper shooter, it is a good game.
Well, I hope that this is not going to be a major wedge between us. I hope we continue to be friends on YouTube. I will still subscribe.
You're gonna subscribe, are you? You're gonna keep the sub. Well, okay. Well,
okay. Now you must tell me your favorite shooter, which I have. I can make a guess.
Go on then.
But I'd probably be wrong.
Go the really arrogant way I said "go on" then, as if you'd have absolutely no chance whatsoever of pronouncing it.
Oh, it's that one.
It's that one.
Okay, well then I'll just shoot for maybe a top 5 guess.
Yeah, please indulge me. This is fantastic.
Radiant Silver Gun.
You no.
Oh! Mushi Himafara Tushari. Mushi Sama Fushari. Mushi Sama Futari.
Correct.
Yes.
And you've done so well there, Vintage, with that we're going to have to declare my second favourite shooting game before we move off this topic.
Doden Pachi Yafusaku. Dodun Pachi Dai Sukatsu. Daidu. No, sorry, start over. Dodun Pachi Dai Fuchatsu.
Well, that's close enough, Vintage. You've done really well. Thank you for playing. and your prize is to get on with your life. Well, that was all the questions I had really. The only thing I've got left
no,
on my
there's
list.
one more here. There's 2 number 7s.
The second number 7 is simply called
The Taste of Folgers. Which isn't really it's not really a question per se.
It's a statement.
Do you have Folgers in the UK?
I don't believe we do, no.
It's horrible.
I thought it was your favourite coffee.
Oh no.
Oh.
You know, I don't know that I have a favorite, but I kind of go back and forth between Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts.
Because I must admit, for a moment after watching that video with the Folgers, my cursor did hover above the unsubscribe button.
So wait a minute, how do you know it's so bad if you don't have it over there?
I've not got a lot of confidence in coffee that comes in enormous tins.
Well, that's a wise view of things, I think.
So the statement, the taste of Folgers.
Yeah.
Is that statement accurate?
Well, first of all, you put an apostrophe S on the end of it, and I don't think that's correct. I think it's just Folgers.
Okay.
I don't know. Let me Google this.
Folgers coffee was the brainchild of Desmond Folger in 1968.
Now, I noticed you're reading that in your American accent.
That is correct. It's a good American accent.
Yes. So, okay, back to your original second number 7. It just says the taste of Folgers. And you asked if that was a correct statement.
Yes, I did.
Yes, it is.